This is Robert Mendez from NetHawk.tv. I'm here with Dave McCrory, one of the leading proponents of cloud evolution, and he's with VMware. And welcome, Dave. It's good to have you here.
Hi, thank you, Robert. I'm glad to be here.
Okay. So one of the things that I was real curious about is, and you talk about a lot in your blogs, is the pathway to portability. How do you see that happening, and where do you see it leading as far as market segment or critical mass? Where do you see that happening?
Well, I see it in a lot of different places. I think people are just starting to think of portability, meaning that they can move a virtual machine or something else around, and they hear a lot about lock-in. I think the real story is around how easy you can diversify and deploy to several clouds at the same time, so a multi-cloud strategy. And I think the biggest challenge is most likely around the data. So you end up becoming addicted to the data and services of one particular provider, and it becomes difficult to move based on how that data grows.
How do you see standards happening with the cloud? Do you see the cloud providing finally maybe a pathway to getting standards, and especially when it comes to data? Where do you see the challenges there?
I think one of the keys is to kind of watch as we see de facto standards form. A great example is with Amazon, with AWS. People are writing to their APIs and trying to mimic them just because they have mass adoption. So in a lot of cases, I think we're going to continue to see that type of thing. Usually what I believe the trend will be is then that becomes the standard and it becomes more official. It's to everyone's benefit that they do become truly an open standard, and I think we'll get there. For the most part, it's a bit easier in that most of the clouds that have momentum have APIs and things that are at least open as far as visible to see. So it becomes easier to create a standard out of something like that than a closed protocol. I think right now there's a lot of public cloud growth. I think what we're starting to see is interest from the private side, and what I mean by that are the medium and large enterprises. Small businesses in some cases are just skipping right to software as a service. Sure. They need very little customization of their applications. They don't need a large infrastructure and don't want a large infrastructure. So it's easier for them to move to a model like that. Medium to large enterprises are interested in implementing their own clouds. They have lots of existing infrastructure. They have lots of existing applications. Commonly they're customized. So that makes it more difficult for them to be able to just jump all into, say, SaaS or something like that. Sure. More and more, I think we will see a move as platform as a service makes it easier for people to deploy and build more and more applications in the cloud, and I think that's when we'll start to see breakthroughs.
You're a guy that's got, what, 8 patents now, I think, to your name. You're probably one of the leaders in all this. What's the next challenge for you? I mean, how do you motivate yourself in all this?
I motivate myself, I guess, trying to figure out where things are going, what the challenges will be, and what the interesting problems are to solve. Data gravity, I think, still has a lot of time that needs to be put into it. We're just starting to see kind of just the early inklings of people understanding what the effects will be, and we're just starting to see kind of the large providers that have what I would call real gravity. That might be Amazon or Google or someone like that would have high data gravity in the public cloud today. However, there's data gravity behind the firewall in enterprises as well, and I think that's where there's a lot of time and energy still to be spent exploring that.
Wonderful. Well, thanks very much, Dave. This is Robert Mendez, NetHawk TV. Tune in again for more. We're going to be posting stuff for the next week on the show here at Cloud Connect. Thanks very much.